Hello there, this is King Dadnator, and I am coming to you today from the Avotopia server, part of the Avoverse servers that are set up and hosted, moderated by folks that are acquainted or work with Avomance, and it's a great set of servers, and I will talk about it a bit more later. And we'll have some descriptions and details in the comments as well, how you can join the servers yourself. But I wanted to come to you today because I wanted to give you a tour of my castle on the server this season. And I wanted to do it today because tomorrow is the last day for this season. And I really wanted to wait a little bit before I recorded this to try to get my voice back in shape, coming off of a bout with COVID, very mild bout. Vaccines work, by the way. But I am feeling really good, but my voice just isn't there. So, but no choice but to record today. So, that's going to be my goal today. Is let's do a little tour here of the castle on the server and show you what I've been up to for the past year and some months. We started this server, I believe, end of August of last year. Oh, sorry, the year before, end of August in 2020. And wanted to show you what I've been up to. So this, you can see, is the Dragon Temple. We're not going to go there right now, but this path is going to take us up and wind us around through this dark oak forest, where I am somewhat shocked I haven't been shot at yet, and take us right to the main bridge, the main entrance into my castle. And so I'm going to get up here a little bit closer so that it can render in for us. But you can see that basically this whole castle is on an island. We're on a bridge here that spans kind of this river that separates us from this forest. And there really wasn't an island here when we started. There was a piece of land. I dug all this out, created this water here, added a lot of land onto what was here before to kind of create a place for this castle to exist. I really do like having a backstory to my builds, and I did develop a pretty substantial backstory, and I'm not going to get into it all here, but basically the idea was there was this kingdom that ran into some difficulties and ran into a deep dark winter and really just started to struggle, and the king and the queen were killed, and the daughter ended up leading her people on a journey until they found this island. And the island was warm and lush, kind of in the midst of a frozen wasteland. And they discovered, which we'll see a little bit later, that it was all heated by thermal vents due to some kind of dormant volcanic activity for the island. So they decided to settle here, built a kingdom, built villages that surrounded the island, and thrived for quite a long time. But as they dug deeper, they discovered something down in the depths of the island, and they also eventually had a visitor that came to the island, and things went a little south after that for a while, and so much of the land around the castle was abandoned and everyone moved here to live, and their numbers dwindled over the years. And that's kind of where we are. We are, decades, if not centuries, into the existence of this castle and the people that live here and the king and queen that call it home. And that is the backstory, and this is what I have named the Red Dragon Queen's Castle. And little guy here doesn't know why I'm following him. And so right here, you can kind of see the snout of our visitor that I talked about. And I am going to go ahead and take a little fly around and give you a little bit better picture of the castle and our visitor. So let's head out here, and you're probably getting a pretty good idea of who our visitor is. It is our friend the Red Dragon. And there she is. And she came by and basically said, you know what? This is my island. I was here before you all came by. And I'm just gonna take a nap. And so she wrapped herself around the castle. You can see her body snaking around here. Tail coming around all the way around the castle and wrapping around this tower here. So one day she appeared, frightened the dickens out of everybody, wrapped herself around the castle, and promptly fell asleep. You can see we have a little issue with everything rendering in here. Let's see if I can come over here. Maybe a little more of it will be rendered in. Yeah, looks like it's starting to come in there. And there she is. Got a little village here underneath, literally underneath her head. And then the castle up on the hill. So it was a great project, a whole lot of fun, and I literally did work on this about every day for 8 months or so, block by block in a survival world, digging resources, all the kind of fun stuff that we do in Minecraft. So that let's go over here, maybe see if we can get a view from this bridge, which I call the Dragon Bridge, kind of the way it undulates here a little bit, so you can see a little more of the castle from this view here. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's the third or fourth castle that I've built in my time in Minecraft, and it seems to be what I always default to, is building some castles. But this is by far the most ambitious project that I've undertaken. And it was a whole lot of fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and fly around a little bit, maybe go back over. Let's see if we can get a front view at night, because this is really, I really like how it looks with all the lighting. So let me get up here again, see. Yeah, it looks like a lot of it rendered back out. Head over here, see if some of it'll render in. Oh, got a little visitor there. Yeah. I have to be a little careful here. I took my armor off just for you know, so you could see who I was instead of just plain old armor. But yeah, we've got a nice view here. So here's a good view of the castle at night, which I really like how, you know, everything kind of glows with the lights everywhere. I worked very hard to make the whole island spawn proof. I know I didn't succeed 100%. Every once in a while I'll get some mobs on there, but for the most part, everywhere inside the boundary of the island is spawn proof. And I did that with lighting and with carpets and half slabs and all that kind of stuff. So that gives you a pretty good idea of the outside. One thing I did want to mention, maybe I'll try to fly up here and show you the topmost tower up here that I call the King's Tower, the very top of that flag, which if I was better at flying I would just land on, but that's not a skill set I have right now. That is at build height. That is at the very top of build height, pre 1.18 of course. And so one of the big goals that I had with this build was to, you know, figure out how to build a structure that took advantage of the entire build height and actually down to bedrock, that was in proportion, that didn't look like I was just building a big tower. You know, it was the whole build. I really wanted to look like it fit at that height, that scale. And so, you know, that is why we ended up with a build that is this massive. So before we go in, let's go ahead and close that. We'll go in there in a little bit. I did want to do a little walk around on the outside just to give you, you know, a little more feel for what you feel down amongst all of this. This level here is more of the public level. You know, a little cart there with guys selling their wares. Some villagers have set up little shops. So here's a shop with the cat keeping guard of the fish, and you know, around through here we've got another shopkeeper selling different kinds of items. But one of the things I talked a little bit about was this dragon came in, you know, hundreds of years ago and promptly fell asleep. And pretty much these villagers, the people that live here, have, you know, almost forgotten that the dragon is even there. They live their life day to day, go about their daily activities all with the dragon just kind of looming above them. So I thought that was kind of fun. just imagining in my mind, could you actually forget that there's a dragon there? And, I think of like going out to Denver, and, when I go out there and see those mountains, part of my thought is, do people that live here every day, do they forget to look up at those, massive, majestic mountains? And I don't know, you tell me if you live out there whether that's the case or not, but I can imagine that there may be days when you never look up. You kind of take it for granted that they're there. I'm not saying you don't look up and you're not in awe, but it may not be an everyday occurrence. So I just thought that was something interesting to explore. So here we are. One of the fun things, the dragon has gripped this tower, and a little hard to see from here, but the tower's kind of cracked and broken where the dragon held on. So life inside the city. A lot of these buildings are meant to be more barracks and things, but a lot of them are abandoned because they just don't have the population that they once had. And that's one of the reasons for kind of this overgrown look to a certain degree, that there's not as many people here to maintain and take care of things as there once was. So let's go ahead and take a walk around inside, and kind of your old standard portcullis there. So every once in a while, the king and the queen will put on a ball, and will have people from outlying countries come in. And when they do, they come in their carriages, and the carriages come up the winding road and through the front gate, and they drop them off here, and their horses are taken back to these stables. Once they get dropped off from their carriage, they then head upstairs into the castle proper. So let's head on up in here and take a look at things. Grand stair up there. And here we are in the main hall of the castle. And you may notice a reflection there in the floor. And I don't necessarily mean the reflection from the shaders, but one of the fun things that I did was I actually built a replica of this room reversed underneath. Now it only goes down a certain distance and then kind of fades to black, but this window is fun. Basically I looked each block by block, cobble there, to mirror the window. Same with this window over here. This side doesn't have a window. And then the stairwell as well, reflected in there. So, kind of, I don't know, it gives this impression of just kind of this super glossy floor, really highlighting this big, magnificent space. Little throne up here where the queen sits and kind of listens to the people who come and ask questions of her. The Red Dragon Queen. And it's just a nice little Nice little garden out here where folks can come and sit, you know, nestled inside the castle. And then if we come over here, this is the ballroom. With a nice little waltz playing, people dancing, little string quartet. So this was obviously a lot of fun as well. I don't have an easy way to show you anymore, but underneath this whole area basically are hundreds of note blocks that create that song. So a lot of fun. And you know, obviously it's triggered by those pressure plates right there. So now, if this were a grand ball and a grand entrance, everyone would hang around here until the king and queen came down the stairs from their living space upstairs. So let's go ahead and head up and see what kind of rooms the king and queen live in. So I whipped around there pretty quick because every once in a while I'll get something spawn in here. I think I've got a little dark spot here. I'm looking forward to 1.18 so we can be a little more moody in our lighting. But here's the dining room. Meals prepared. You got some waiters over there. Turkey pie. That was a little gift that we got from the mods on Thanksgiving, I think. So this is a shared dining room, and off to each side are the king and the queen's quarters. So let's head over here. Got a couple guards right outside the queen's rooms, and take a look at the queen's living area. So this is kind of her living room, little table and some chairs, little side tables. Over here is the queen's bath, which dip a toe down in it. It's nice and warm, heated by steam. See a little bit down there coming through, heating the room up, and heated by the sun when we've got a nice sunny day. It looks like we do right now. And then if we come around here, see a steam vent there. You will basically notice in every room in the castle these vents, and that's how it's heated. You know, we don't have fireplaces everywhere. We've got steam being pumped through the whole castle, keeping it nice and warm. So here's the queen's bedroom. Queen's bed. You lay down and you can kind of look up and see the stars at night. Kind of like the curtains here. Create some nice patterned curtains hanging alongside the stained glass windows. And then over here is the Queen's Tower, which goes all the way up with some rooms that the Queen can go up in and spend some time in if she wants. here is the queen's closets with some outfits there and all her storage. Another closet here. And one of the things that every good castle has to have is some secret passageways. And so if something were to happen, this is how the queen would get out and escape. And if I follow this all the way down, it leads to an underground or an escape system by the side of the island, so she can go down and hop on a boat and get out of here. But we don't need to do that right now. And then out here takes you to her balcony, where she can look around, look down on the dragon below. So, kind of self-contained, protected from the rest of the castle. So she can come up here and be safe. She's got a little guard here just to make sure. And then she could head over to the king's tower right here. Back into the dining room, and then over here to the king's rooms. So I really had a lot of fun kind of trying to make all of these rooms different in their, feel and their design, but still all obviously in kind of that medieval motif. But this, to me, felt a little more masculine than the other side. Got a nice map of the whole island here. You can really get a sense for how the dragon intertwines with the castle. And all of the roofs of all the different buildings there. So, the king is a pretty avid reader. I would say both the king and the queen are, but this is their library. And there's supposed to be a book right here, but Avo took it when he did a tour the other day. I'll have to get another one and put it there. Because the reason Avo took it is taking that book actually opens up what you have to have in a big library is a secret passageway that opens up behind. And that connects to the secret passageway to the queen's room, and again down to that escape area down below. So here's the king's wardrobe, a little more Spartan, but extra backup armor in there. And I just point out, if anybody can tell me what shard plate is from, what series that's from, you get a cookie. One of my favorite book series. So here we are up in the king's bedroom. Got our heating vent there. Nice little sword handed down from his grandfather. Some fun with armor stands. And then here's the second floor of the library. So, sounds like we've got some rain tonight. I'm going to go ahead and sleep here. Drive away the rain. That is a nice thing about this server. They do have that sleep mod, so anybody on the server can go ahead and sleep away the night. When it's really busy, which I told you that this was the end of the season, I'm actually the only one on the server right now, which is definitely rare towards the beginning of the season. It got a little more sparse towards the end of the season. But one of the things that is really, really fun about this server is all the people that are on it and all the interaction that you can have with other people and visiting their bases and having them over at your base and just, I don't know, having fun. You know, I had a whole project with, several different projects with different people building farms, and we built a big game actually in the castle, which boy, I sure would like to do a video on, but I don't know if I'll get that done before they shut down tomorrow night or not. And that was a blast. Ren Builder helped me a lot on that. I mean, he was the brains behind a lot of the redstone for it. So that's what really makes this server a lot of fun. And we're actually planning on ramping that up quite a bit next season. We've got a group of several builders that we're all going to get together and build all together in the same spot. And so I'm really, really looking forward to that. And hoping to do, quite a few videos as well. So you guys can come along for the ride. For that matter, if it's something that you're interested in, join the server and come help us build. I think that's one of the coolest things about something like this. So Avotopia is the name of this server. It's in the Avomance server network. You just go to avomance.com, avomance.com, and you can find all about it and get the server IP address and join in. He's got a free server called Quarrycraft. This is the Avotopia server, which is a paid monthly. He's got different tiers, but it's really pretty inexpensive. It's just a couple bucks, $2-3, I don't remember exactly, a month to be able to join in, but it is well worth it. So that's my pitch. So back to the tour. This is the war room. This is a big map of the surrounding territory, and you can see, maybe if you look at that I've got a little road that goes from my island all the way down through the woods over to a couple other people that were on the server and their builds over here. So we were pretty spread out. I think we're actually going to be a lot closer next season. They actually reduced the distance you had to go out from spawn, but it gives you a little sense of the scale and what we had, at least this season. So I want to show you one more thing that's kind of fun in here. You may have noticed this little button here, but it doesn't do anything. But if I toss an item into that little block right there, it opens up this hidden passageway here, which takes us down to my vault and my loot. So here's my diamond haul for the season. My ender chest with some more of my haul here, but just thought it was a little fun having a little hidden vault like that. And where better to put it than in the war room. So that button doesn't open it, but it does close it. So, and I don't know if you noticed, we went across a bridge here, and this was in one of the towers. One of the square towers is where this war room was. One of the things that was really, really fun about this build was trying to not just make it look cool from the outside, but also actually fill the inside. Now, I did not succeed in filling all of it because it was absolutely massive. But I got a couple floors done. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Okay, let's go back and see what kind of damage was done and if I can get my gear back. Boy, that's the first time I've ever had a creeper up here in that part of the build. So let's head on up here and find out what happened. Here's all my stuff. Fortunately, it looks like it didn't actually blow a hole in the floor. I guess I would have seen it down there. So I was able to get most of my stuff back. So we will repair that later. This room was never finished. I really liked the decorating of the walls and everything, but never actually put anything in it. But let's head on up here a little bit more, up into the king's castle. And I wanted to show you, this was something that was just a little bit fun to me. So we've got the king, we've got the queen, and then of course you have to have a princess. And so the princess lives in a couple towers, but the only way to them is through the king's tower. And so there's a little bit of, no one's coming in or out unless they go through me kind of thing, through the king. And so we head on down here, and that was one tower. Now we're crossing a bridge over to another tower, and here we are in the queen, or the princess's rooms. And a little bit of Pepto-Bismol throw up kind of here, but it was kind of fun as well. And definitely had a couple people on the server that really claimed this as their own when they saw all the pink. So that's the princess's bedroom. And then we come up here and didn't really finish this room much, but you can see she's got top of her tower here. She can come out and hang out. There's the king's tower right there with the bridge that comes over to her tower. And, she has some living space in that tower as well. So, thought I heard a mob fall somewhere. So I was going to head over to the king's tower, but I think you have a pretty good idea. Need to get my wings back on here. I'll go ahead and put on some armor too. I was actually surprised that creeper killed me because I had my armor on. So that is a tour of the main structure of the castle, the main interior. And so what I would like to do now is show you the underneath part of the castle. And this is actually kind of fun as well. So we come down here across the dragon bridge to this big gate, and open up this big door here. Didn't really show that very well. Big giant piston door. Just kind of fun. Head in here. Closes behind you. And this is my farming district. So all of this stuff that made this castle had to come from somewhere, and so a lot of it was created in this room here, as well as an awful lot of mining, of course. But this is where I basically created all my kind of redstone-y technical farms. So here, dripstone farm right there. Here is a bamboo farm. Up here is actually where my villagers hang out. Villager breeder. Still can't see them over there, but oh, they're all sleeping right now. Obviously another wart farm. You just press the button here and auto harvest that. Vine farm. This is more of a manual deal, but every one of these farms that I have in here, I believe every one of them, feeds into water streams which go under the floor and feed over there to my central storage system, which I'll show you in a second here. Cobblestone Generator, Basalt Generator, right here. That's where I got a lot of this stone. And here's a concrete maker, which I'm pretty proud of. It's based on a BOO concrete maker that he built in season 7 of Hermitcraft, I believe. He didn't do a tutorial on it, so I spent a lot of time pausing and rewinding and freezing, frames and stuff to figure it out. But basically you feed your concrete powder in there, it creates a big square, and then you press a button here and drop TNT in the middle of it and blow it up, and then those, again, concrete blocks are fed over there to the storage system. Standard iron farm, got zombie there and villagers behind it. On Avatopia, they are very interested in being able to turn this stuff off, so every farm does have an on and off switch. This one was kind of fun. It was just push a block on top of the zombie, so they can't see him, he can't see them anymore, and so the farm stops. And you can see villagers again. Those villagers are now sleeping because it's night right there. So I do leave my iron farm running most of the time because I have an iron shop in the shopping district, which is another thing that's a whole lot of fun with this server. We have a shopping district where everybody has different shops, and the thing that I sell is iron goods, and so everything iron you can buy at King Detonator's iron shop. So this is my creeper farm, Gunpowder Farm, and right now it is on, but I actually need to be in a better spot for it to have better spawn rates. So they spawn up there and fall down here and are greeted by their favorite little friends before they die. Which, yeah, that's really nice of me. And so here it is. So this really is the heart of, and I heard this one time, that the storage system is really the heart of your build. And so one of the very first things I built was this storage system, and the whole rest of the castle kind of grew up around it. And so we really try hard to keep the lag down, so we didn't use a lot of iron frames here, but you know, basically the block in front of each is what's inside. Oops. Inside the storage section. So, but it's all fed by the all the different farms. And you know, Cactus Farm over here, I didn't even show you that. But if we go up here, you can see these are the water streams that feed everything, and they go all the way around the storage system. And don't have a whole lot running right now, except for the iron farm. I think I turned that back on. So we should see some iron ingots come through here every once in a while. To right about here is where the iron is stored. So it's not all that exciting to see, but I believe it comes up right here and then shoots down. So that, you know, if I had any piece of advice, that would be one of the big pieces of advice, is get your storage system sorted early on, because to me, one of the biggest pains in survival Minecraft is, you know, inventory control and having all the things that you need to build. And just to show you a little bit, I do try to carry an ender chest with me all the time. And then, so when I'm doing a big build, I will have a bunch of shulker boxes with, trying to have everything that I'm going to need for that build, so I'm not constantly having to come back. And then this, you know, has an automatic unloading system as well. You can, you know, put things in here and it will feed into the system and then end up in the correct chests. So that's my farms. This took a very long time to build, but I really like the way this ended up looking, with all of these arches, half slabs everywhere, so I could keep some of the mood. But you know, the lighting is mostly just for mood. You know, it's not going to stop anything from spawning except out here on the pathway. And then I want to show you one more farm, just because this was a lot of fun to build, you know, before I show you the last area that gets me pretty excited. And this farm is a copper farm, and the reason it's new is because 1.17 introduced copper. I didn't really get to use it a lot in this build, but I really like copper and want to use it a lot in the next build, so I will be building another one of these farms. And so I want to show you a little bit how it works. Everything comes down into here. Yeah, it's got looting 3 on it. And these guys are here in the killing chamber. Lots of them coming. And then their copper comes down into this chest here. And we do that by converting zombies into drown. And we do that at this farm right here. Up above is just your standard mob farm, flushes all the mobs down. And then we have a sorting system that sorts them all out. And I use Logical Geek Boy's tutorial for this, so if you want to do something similar, definitely go check him out. But you can see it's pretty good. It's a pretty good rate. Let me go up here a little bit and show you from a different angle. So you can kind of see basically all the mobs fall in there. The ones that sink in water fall through here, and that's just skeletons and zombies. And then there's a little height difference between the two, which this mechanism here will. We'll see the skeleton will fall in there, and when the piston pushes, zombies are slightly shorter, and so they get pushed over, and then skeletons fall down a chute there. So right now, everybody except for zombies ends up in the lava down there. And then those zombies go in this tank of water and they fall down 17 blocks. They go in a little stream down there. You see this one's gonna go. And then he shoots up. Oh, I missed him. Shoots up that stream there. There goes one. And then they end up in the kill chamber above. So I didn't quite do this right. I didn't have this kill chamber in the right place to get the best rates. So we'll fix that in the next version, but still does a pretty nice job. So head up here. And you can hear trapdoors opening and closing it in the mob farm as it flushes the mobs down. So here is the last thing that I want to show you, and it's kind of, if we go back to that story I told you about the Red Dragon Queen and coming to the island, and as they dug deeper into the island, they discovered something. And so as we come down here into the depths of the island, we can see this big room here, and started to add some dripstone in with 1.17. But as they dug down, they found buried beneath the castle this massive egg. And it soon became apparent, especially when the red dragon appeared, that this was a dragon egg. And so, however long before, hundreds of years, thousands of years before the castle was constructed, the red dragon had come, dug out a place beneath the mountain, and laid her egg on a bed of lava to keep it warm, and then flew off, I would say, to feed. And then when she came back, she discovered the castle around her egg. And so she just laid down to wait. And so we got a little creepy dude up there. This area I worked so hard to mob proof, but apparently I missed a spot. But if you take this road all the way down, and I'm actually just gonna leap off here to save us a little bit of time. You take this road all the way down, winds around down here, you end up down here. At bedrock, and just look down there, you can see there's bedrock. And here is the dragon egg. Played around with a couple different designs when I was working on this. Originally I planned on having 3 eggs, but the one just really looked, it was just, I wanted it to be, you know, something that maybe you go, wow, you know, when you see it. So the story here, the story that I've kind of made up is, you know, they decided, obviously they didn't want to disturb the egg much, and when the dragon appeared, for sure they didn't want to mess with it. So they post guards 24/7 outside the egg. You know, every 15 minutes or so they hike around the egg, make sure everything's okay. And then they have a whole system where if something starts to happen, if this egg's gonna crack, if that dragon's gonna come out, they want to know about it. And so they yell over to these guys, and these guys start ringing the bell. And then these guys up here hear it, and they start ringing their bell. Then these guys up here hear it, and they start ringing their bell. And this goes all the way up to the top. And so everybody in the castle knows right away that something's happening, and maybe it's time to get out of Dodge. Fortunately, they haven't had to do that yet. The other lore that I have, which was kind of, you know, a little more backstory, is this egg has magical powers, and bathing in the water down here, which is, by the way, where all the steam comes from that heats the castle. Bathing in the water has healing properties. And so our king and our queen are the same king and queen that originally came and founded this castle. They've lived for a very long time, and they come down here on a regular basis to spend some time in the healing waters. So that really is the grand tour, from bedrock to build limit. This is the castle of the Red Dragon Queen. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this tour. I mean, I'm assuming most of you are Minecraft players as well and understand the joy that comes from building something like this. But it was sincerely just a blast over that period of time. And of course, it was during the whole COVID lockdown, and it gave me something to really look forward to every day. To get off work and get on the server and hang out with my friends and, you know, build something fun, build something that you know, I can be proud of in this virtual world, you know, which is kind of funny to me. You know, tomorrow night it's all gonna go away, which is a little bit, you know, on the sad side as well. But one thing I've also learned is every build that I build in Minecraft is my favorite build. And so I'm fully convinced that the next build in 1.8 will be my favorite build. And maybe we can figure out a way to save this and come back and visit someday. That would be fun. But at the same time, I'm thoroughly aware that hopefully in my mind this build will pale compared to the next one. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, boy, if you're not on Avatopia, you should be. Avamance.com. Head on over there, join up, and join us tomorrow night. Well, let me take that back. The server shuts down tomorrow night on January 8th. But their goal is Tuesday night. So that would be 9, 10, 11. January 11th is to open up the new server with 1.18 ready to go and ready for us to have an awesome next season. So thanks again. I'm King Dadinator. I appreciate you coming by. I know this is probably really long. I appreciate you sticking through it, and I hope to see you on Avatopia. Goodbye.